Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Red Pill Tamales. We're going to talk about everything that's going on in the world, man. It's your boy Chingo Bling. We got Juan Perez in the building. Represent San Antonio. That's where I'm headed to next. But yo, today, man, we got to talk about how lit it was in Las Vegas. We just got back. Went to the Canelo Fight. We're going to tell you about that. I performed for Big Boy. Shout out to Big Boy, man. Radio legend.
Big Boy's neighborhood.
Yeah, so we had a crazy lineup, and we're going to talk about that. I guess the Republicans are having debates to see who's going to be the candidate, who's going to be the what is it, primaries?
Yeah.
So we shall see. We're going to talk about that. That boy Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell, he said I guess he's been talking about the nitrogen shortage and how it's affecting farmers.
Yeah, and farming and stuff like that.
Oh, bet. Okay, it's gonna be get your tinfoil hat, cause some of y'all this might trigger a lot of normies for this public episode. We're gonna check out this Jocko Willink video about kids being trained early. Trained how? Like jiu-jitsu training or like upbringing?
Like just upbringing and stuff.
Word, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, it's good to be back. We just landed yesterday as we record this, right? So Vegas, bro, it's so much traffic, so many people, just so much going on. Construction. They're having Formula One races. They're getting ready for that. So they're like repaving some stuff. You know that big sphere? Did you hear about that big sphere thing that displays images? It's like an arena.
Yeah, I think you were telling me, or Marisol was telling me about it today.
So it's been like trending, and everybody in Vegas, obviously, they know about it. It's like big news. But like U2 is doing a residency, so they're performing inside that thing, and all the images have been coming out, and they're able to display like sunsets and desert and all this stuff, and it looks like it'll freak you out, bro. Like the imagery, it looked like Blue Beam? It looked like Operation Blue Beam.
You know what? I did see something like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see something like that. It did look crazy because it looked like they were literally out in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it looked trippy, but they were inside a building.
I didn't know that's what it was.
Like all the walls are screens type of thing, bro.
That's crazy.
And even on the outside. So we crammed so much, bro, into this quick little Vegas
That's
trip.
what the smart cities are gonna look like, by the way.
What, like that sphere?
Yeah, you're gonna be like what's
like
that
fake sunset?
What's that movie with Jim Carrey? The one where
Truman.
That Truman, where he's just gonna go to the wall like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's what's gonna be a Truman Show.
Yeah, you're not gonna know what's going on outside of that bubble. But that was just one of the trippy things. But we had a great time, man. Just like kicking it with Michael Blackson, meeting Tiffany Haddish, like working with all these people.
Paul Rodriguez.
Paul Rodriguez was there. Shout out to the homie Eric Blake. He had tried to get me on another Big Boy show back in the day, but anyway, just kicking it around all these successful people, bro. Like you just watch how they operate. Like for example, seeing Big Boy, how he is with his fans, bro. Mm-hmm. Like that was a master class in like being what would the word be, Juan? Like what comes to mind is almost like a royal, like man of the people, like just kind of like walking around the car show and just everybody. He told nobody no.
The people person?
Yeah, man of the people, right? Like
people, yeah.
Like everybody wanted a picture. Everybody knew who he was.
Like Muhammad Ali type
yeah,
of thing,
basically. Right? I mean, just kind of walking around. It's kind of like I was his security though, just because you don't ever know if somebody's gonna get out of line. So obviously, like,
and they don't know you got the stripes.
And even before I had them 4 stripes, which Marisol told me, quit telling people you got four stripes. But like even before that, I guess I know how to fall in position. Like for example, if say pretend we're like rolling with Pitbull or something, it's like, okay, you know what I mean? We all got to kind of make sure he's good. And I literally have been in those situations where you're, or like the Chris Perez story of like, man, how he was doing these impromptu meet and greets, right? Yeah. But anyway, it was really cool seeing like Big Boy, how he is around all his people. Michael Blackson, how well he performed, like how tight his set was, how he just came out guns blazing, the energy, and Sol and I were watching his performance. from that beautiful venue we were at, bro. This theater in Vegas.
She told me the hotel was crazy. Everything was nuts over there.
They hooked us up.
And it was back to back to back. Y'all guys were like moving.
I mean, it was like land, and then like go to the weigh-in, like go to the Canelo weigh-in, after party, like perform, after party, and all this stuff. So
That's crazy.
Michael Blackson destroyed the stage. Tiffany Haddish kept like I don't know. I was just kind of like, because she did some jokes where she said that I don't want to like give away the material, but basically like she talked about some like lesbian type stuff. Not saying that she was that or anything, but like, she was just like chopping it up with Mighty Soul. She's like, oh my God, wait, do I know you? Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, hey, I'm here, like Tiffany, like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I heard your set.
That's me, yeah.
Hey, I'm watching.
Basically,
hey, I'm watching.
I did some callbacks to her set, but but she was super cool, like considering she's in all those movies. But it was just a masterclass. I came back so inspired, like ran into DJ Quick, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're familiar with his music, bro, but like anybody out there watching, leave something in the comments. Like if there's a DJ Quick song that you know. Like for example, he did one called Just Like Compton, where he was like, San Antonio is just like Compton. You never heard it? You're probably too young. He's too young.
Too young.
But that was like some starstruck moment stuff. And then I saw him perform his rap show, and I'm just like taking notes how I'm going to apply that to my stand-up. So San Antonio, we are coming October 12th through the 15th, and I'm gonna bring all
Six shows.
I'm bringing all that energy, man. Everything.
And limited merch, so make sure you get your tickets early. Get them for the early shows so you can get the merch you want. So
absolutely. So San Antonio, we're gonna bring all that same energy and everything that, just all that inspiration, bro. So that was super cool. Oh, the Canelo fight. Did you see?
Oh yeah, dude, we saw it all. We watched it here on the thing. It's funny because Chingo's like, man, I was around all these rich people, all these.
And then I come home.
Guys. He's like, now I'm back to a regular blazer.
Now I'm come back to now it's just Juan.
Ass guy.
Now it's just Juan. Talking about, I saw the fight too, player.
We were watching it on a projector, Chingo.
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
We got the projector and everything.
Y'all got a projector?
Time. Yeah.
What? Where's the projector at?
It's right there.
I had no idea.
Yeah, we watched it.
Okay.
Sorry, it wasn't live.
No, I'm just saying, like, I can't wait to see this projector y'all talking about. But it was a bunch of people in there.
Bro,
and,
he demolished. He beat the fuck out of him. Like it was just bad because it was like he didn't even have a chance. Like it. You watched it, right? Like,
yeah, I didn't see the demolished part.
Well, the thing was like what I meant is he was walking through all his punches. It's almost like Charlo went in there like, I'm gonna win this fight, and then after a few punches, he's like, my punches are doing nothing to this man, and he just went into survival, like of just like, I want to pepper and then just like stay away as much
Clench.
as I could. Yeah. So basically, it was just survival. So it was like, that's why I say demolished. Like people were like, it's boring. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But it's only because he was running, trying to not get knocked out. Because his whole, like, especially if you watch the post-fight interview.
Yeah, he didn't knock me out.
He didn't knock me out. It's like, okay, dude, but don't be proud of that. Like you look like you were just survival mode. It's like, it's almost like you lost some stock because of celebrating it.
And then he was like, I want Bud. And everyone was like, wait, you can't call out Crawford. You got to run that back. You got to run that fade back. Like, you need to say, man, I just need another rematch or something. Say that first. Yes, I guess. I don't know everything.
Well, he went up two weight classes, but that's the whole thing. But it's just, I was just shocked because he wasn't able to do nothing. And there was, like, to the point where Canelo's corner was like, hey, man, I know you're doing it, but just keep your hands up. Because Canelo just started getting to the point where he's like, dude, you ain't doing shit. Like, I'm just going to walk right through you.
I thought Canelo was getting tired. Because I saw his hands kind of coming down. Did you see Canelo didn't sit in between rounds?
He wasn't tired, bro. Like, just watching the whole thing was just like, oh, I thought it was going to be, this is like, you could tell the size difference. As far as like, because then I was like, okay, he's taller than him, yes. But then I'm watching, like, you could watch, like, their muscle structure, and it's just, like Charlo was just, like, real thinner. Like, you could tell, like, the bone dexterity is probably, like, way bigger on Canelo, where it's like, oh, yeah, he is bigger. Like, But like as far as tall,
Amor está aquí, carnal.
yeah.
Yo,
Bigger
Canelo.
than a Snicker, boy.
Oh yeah, Canelo's intro was fire, bro. He went in there with Santa Fe Clan and the little guy Tornillo, and we walked the red carpet, but wasn't nobody really tripping with me. They didn't know who the hell I was. That's when all the photographers. That's when they're like, let me just check my settings.
Wait,
Like,
let's make sure we have some stuff.
yeah, I'm not finna fill up my hard drive with these extra clicks. A couple of people took pictures, but most of them were like, yeah, anyway, let me reset my lights for when Steve Aoki and Mario Lopez come through here.
Marisol said she didn't know you were going to be on the red carpet. That's why she didn't pack you red carpet stuff. So
I didn't either.
She said on her podcast, she said you look like Chingo Bling's dad, like, because you weren't ready for, like, you weren't Chingo Blingy. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you know, some people, bro. See, that's maybe this is one thing I took away from Michael Blackson. Like, Michael Blackson, he was always, I don't want to say in character, but like, he was, when he stepped out of his hotel room, like, he had on the full length Versace dashiki, multi-layer in Vegas, like with the loafers.
Coming to America look.
Yeah, basically, like, you a superstar, and it's almost like you want people to. I mean, he was very, like, low-key and humble, but it's kind of like, if you recognize me and you want a photo, I'm going to look like I'm about to be on stage right now. Not like, oh, man, Michael Blackson looked different when he just, like, going to the gym and just got on a T-shirt or whatever. It's almost like I can't even picture him in, like, regular, like, Adidas or something. But no, I bring that up because some people are like, where's the boots? Where's this? Where's Cleto? Where's the hat? Where's the tamale? Where's the that? And it's kind of, and I had to tell Marisol, I was like, all right, I guess let me fucking start, like, packing boots at all fucking times. You know what I mean? Like, I guess start seeing what outfits I could wear with some of these colorful ass boots. You know what I mean? But anyway,
You're bringing the boots out of retirement.
yeah. So anyway, Vegas was lit. All right, man. So these Republican debates, they had another round.
Yeah, another round.
Why are they doing them again? Considering they not number one.
Well, because they're like gonna run in the future, you know. Like
They
you want
just trying to,
to
like,
see who's gonna come after Trump, probably
Get their brand out. So who did good? What was the standout?
It just showed really what they were kind of about. Like, honestly, if you watch the whole thing and not just clips, it's like you kind of got like an understanding of like, oh, this is like a trap setup type of thing, because it's like they kind of were just like shutting out Ramaswamy a lot. Like, dude, like,
That sounded like a sandwich, the way he said it.
Ramaswamy.
Man, boy, you ain't never had that Ramaswamy Mike's way? You need on white? Get Ramaswamy on white.
Yeah, so what they did with him, it was pretty fucked up, because then it makes sense why Trump's not even showing up to these, because like he's like, no, that's a trap.
Is it a Fox News thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a trap. He don't want to be there.
It's a straight trap,
He
because
don't want to
like
be there.
they have Ramaswamy in the middle, and then they have everybody else around, of course, and it starts off, you know, tit for tat there, and then they're answering questions, and then eventually it gets to the part where Vivek just starts going. And then they make a smart-ass remark. What's her name? I forgot the lady's name.
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley talks about, like, every time I hear you talk, I feel dumber. And, like, everybody, oh, you know, all that stuff. And then because...
Did she diss herself?
She dissed him, but in a way of, like you're young, you're an idiot type of thing. Like, because of what he said about TikTok. Like, he's trending on TikTok, and his whole policy was, like, I want to pass a policy that makes it anybody under 16 ban them from using that app because they're just not ready. Like, your brain's not formed. He doesn't think it's good. But aren't you higher on that? That was the question. Like, you're the one trending on it compared to everybody else. And his whole thing was like, yes, but that's because unlike everybody else, I actually want to win an election. And he went the whole route of like, I'm using the platform that's available to me at the time. But at the same time, it's not useful for our youth. It was his whole point. And then that's whenever she started talking over him, and they wouldn't let him get a word out. Then when they silenced her to give him some time, another rhino jumps out of nowhere and starts interrupting him again. And then they started doing that throughout the whole debate, to where it was like, oh, that's the trap. That's how you're going to do it. That's why you have a bunch of nobodies on the stage besides just DeSantis, him, and the ones that are actual credible. You have these idiots just up there, like, just... And then this is the weirdest thing, dude. They literally asked, what we're gonna do about the Ukraine situation? If we're gonna be sending, what is your policy? Are you gonna be sending money still? And if none of y'all caught it, just so y'all understand where the rest of them stand, a few of them were like, oh, yeah, well, it's necessary because of things that you don't know about. So just so you know, when they say that and they're not answering the question, they're literally saying, well, because of unforeseen stuff, we still need to pay them. So when you hear those answers answered back like that, they're literally saying, no, we need to keep the funding over there because y'all don't understand how Russia works. Y'all don't understand how China works. Y'all don't understand how any of that works. So that's what I really took away from this whole little debate thing was you could really see like, oh, you guys are trying to twist little words here so that you could get in the office and then you're still going to run shit the way he's running it. Like, you're crazy.
We're trying to understand, like, what's y'all's obsession with Ukraine? Like, why a huevo? Like, y'all gotta be sending so many billions over and over and over again. I know what the TV reasons are. You know what I mean? Like, well, it's because their sovereignty, and Russia is they had Ukraine was whatever. No, Russia was unprovoked attack and this and that, and it's just a bunch of BS. And now I think like Poland is starting to, like a lot of countries starting to look at Zelensky sideways, like, hey, bro, you look like you losing, and you need to stop running around here
asking for
being
money,
a welfare queen of the world. But
yeah, it's looking real bad. So
we shall see, man. What's up with these? What's gonna happen? Because obviously, Trompitas. They don't want him to run. They want to attack his his whole business. The way they're hitting him with the, hey, you lied about what Mar-a-Lago is really worth, and this and that. So like another, I guess a judge in New York, they trying to hit him with 700 years and all these different things for all these different reasons.
Death penalty.
And what's trippy, bro, is I was watching Bill Maher while we were in Vegas in the hotel getting ready. And Bill Maher, he was listing his reasons. He's like, he's broken all the social norms, all the norms of a president. He's like, he's got all these indictments, paying the porn star, and this indictment about the documents, and the indictment about the phone call in Georgia where he allegedly was saying, y'all need to find me some votes. Like all this stuff that don't really hold up no water at all. That it's literally like half the country sees it for what it is. It's like, bro, y'all just don't want him to run. Like, it's just a big old witch hunt, and y'all picking and choosing. And like for example, there's this video, Soft White Underbelly, that Marisol sent me. Mm-hmm. And it was about a gentleman who was a cop, and he was calling out the corruption of the other cops, like taking bribes and planting evidence. And he started airing out some of that business. So then all of a sudden, it's like, the justice system got weaponized against him. And they started putting all these fake cases on that dude, like had him locked up with like no evidence. Like, hey, dude, like surrounded him, this ex-deputy. They had like 60 cops, and long story short, they just kept trying to hit him with case after case after case of just random stuff with like no evidence. And it's almost like a microcosm.
It's character assassination. So like the way it used to be was you're innocent until proven guilty. But nowadays it's more like you're guilty until proven innocent. And even if you're innocent afterwards, your name's been tarnished so much that nobody takes you serious. And nobody believes anything you say. And even if you didn't get convicted, even if you didn't do anything wrong, they're still looking at you sideways because your stuff is aired out while other candidates or other people don't have anything aired out to the public.
Yeah, they're attacking Trump big time. Like right now, it's like they want him to liquidate like his whole Trump estate, whatever, the whole brand. Like they want
assets and everything.
Yeah, like basically ban him from New York City. You cannot do business here. And like this multi-billion-dollar company that like I guess his father started, and like even his kids helped, and like his whole life being like a real estate developer, like his whole entire brand, they want to just have him tied up in court.
You know why, right? Because whenever he first started in New York, they would try to get him to buy into like some of like the organizations, I guess you would want to call them, or the mob or whatever type of mentality, the mob people, and he would never have to because he had really good lawyers, he had really good people, like he knew people to get a lot of his contract work and stuff in New York, so he was able to get around having to pay out some of those guys, and he was like really like airtight to where it's like FBI couldn't get nothing on him, nobody could get anything on him because he did everything legally by the book because he had really good lawyers that knew the policies and how to get around stuff, and he was literally using the playbook that the rich use on a daily basis, so like they couldn't get him on anything.
Just clean
and
as a
now
whistle.
they're like, all right, dude, you want to really fuck with us
you
now?
incited
now we're gonna go ahead and take you out the way we wanted to originally, bitch. Like, that's literally what they're doing.
Yeah, they're after him real bad, and it just makes you wonder, like, why is the entire, administrative state, some people call it the deep state, you know what I mean? Like, why is the media, even the Republicans themselves, why is everybody against this dude? But anyway, let us know what you think in the comments. What's your opinion? How do you take it? I say that because
you said it like Biden though.
But anyway, the thing, folks.
Anyway,
here's the deal.
I'm gonna
It's not hyperbole.
I'm gonna take a nap.
It's not hyperbole. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being facetious. All right, it's not hyperbole. It's just like. It's like we want to have this show, you know what I mean, where we could get on here and talk about everything, like from like my perspective or our perspective or whatever. But it's almost like the DT, it's like that name. People have so much hate to where it's like they can't even think. They just start seeing red, you know what I mean, because they still believe like, but Chingo, he told us to drink the bleach and whatever else the news lied about. So Bryce Mitchell, do we have a clip or?
Hey, good morning, y'all. There's talks of a nitrogen shortage going on, and I'm sure that there is somewhere out there in the world. And I know what they mean. They mean the price of that synthetic nitrogen's going up. But this stuff right here, it's a heck of a lot cheaper. I got that wheelbarrow full of nitrogen, which is manure, in about 20 minutes. Now is that going to save the world? No, but what I'm telling you is that stuff like that's going to help little bit by little bit, okay? So I take those wheelbarrows and I form it into something like this, a bigger pile here, and I put straw on top of it to keep the flies down to a minimum. But over there is the feeding area where I put the hay out, and the cows eat over there. And I keep it real nice and clean, and I take that manure and put it in piles away from their feed. And then I go up to these piles right here, and I scoop them up with the tractor, and I use them in the garden. And that takes a couple months for them to break down, and if you rotate it more frequently, it breaks down quicker and better and stuff. But anyways, here's part of the problem too, okay? Less than 2% of Americans farm. Okay, so less than 2% of the people are feeding the whole country. And most of the age of those less than 2% that are doing that are like 50 and older. So we've got less than 2% of our 50 plus year olds feeding the rest of the nation. I do think as the economy gets worse and everything just starts collapsing, it's obviously a viable option for more of our population, 30, 40, 50% of our population, and a younger generation to start farming. That's going to be a logical solution. And, man, I really encourage anybody out there who's wanting to help any way that they can to just start growing their own food or tending to some animals. Now, if you're wondering exactly how do I start, this is my recommendation. Get you some chickens, grow sweet taters, garlic, because garlic is medicine. You grow it for the medicinal values. It can cure infections and stuff like that. So it's very important to have that garlic. And here in Arkansas, I don't have to use any type of sides on the garlic, which if I am using some type of side, it's not something crazy, okay? Like I like to spray permethrin. I'll spray that on potatoes, okay, because it helps them out. But sweet taters is what I would start with. Sweet taters, garlic, If you live in Arkansas, do watermelons too, because they're so sweet. If you put this manure right here and you work that manure into that soil before you grow watermelons, then watermelons are going to come out sweet. If y'all have had my watermelons, you know they're sweet. So if you're looking to start, grow sweet taters and regular taters, but you're going to have to use a little something to keep the bugs off of them. Garlic, watermelons. Okra is good for animal feed too. And get chickens, because it's an easy way to start without getting the big equipment and having to wrestle calves and things like that, okay? So chickens and potatoes, garlic, watermelon, okra, stuff like that. And just do anything you can to start, because as the economy gets worse, I think this stuff's going to get really important. Thank you guys who listened. Appreciate y'all.
Wow. Yeah, man. That is very scary from somebody that ain't handy at all, bro. Like, like I told my wife. I mean, I think I say it on stage too. Like I'm not handy at all. Like if ish hits the fan, it's like my wife's gonna have to slap me, like, to calm down, and I'm gonna eat all our snacks first. Like my blood sugar's gonna drop, and it's like, hey, we're stockpiling food.
So you'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I got the bullets.
Yeah,
I got the baby Glock, baby.
I'm security,
baby. I got security. I work security.
I'm going hunting. But no, man, that especially just from like a city boy perspective, it's like, okay, bro, like, are you really about to go get some land somewhere and wrestle calves, or be cool with the ranchers? Shout out to Mary's Creek Cattle Company, and maybe do some of that gardening, farming stuff.
I mean, I would
have something to barter.
Barter, or just go work with them or work for them, and I'm sure they give you some of it. I mean, it just depends on starting to get your feet wet with them, learn some of the skills, and then you could apply some of the stuff they teach you. But helping, if he's saying that they're 50 and older, something you could do is try to find a local farm and maybe go ask, like, hey, I'd really like to help if you could do this, and then I can get some of the get some of the product. You know what I'm saying? And you could get your feet wet of, like, they could teach you while you're helping them, because I mean, if they're 50 and older and stuff like that, if they're just older people, they might need help. They might not, but I mean, I'm sure there's more stuff that they would like help. You know what I mean?
Dude, shit hits the fan. We were talking to a homie in Vegas. I believe he's Salvadorian, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, bro, we were just at a diner in Vegas having this convo, and people get to talking about like, hey man, like, are there some investment opportunities in Mexico? Like, does it make sense to get a dual citizenship, and trying to, could that be a place to, like what business could you, like, what opportunities are out there, right? And homeboy was just talking about how El Salvador is, like, they're about to be even bigger on tourism because it's so safe and everyone's curious to go check out the beaches and, like, the food and just the safe, nice, Latin American, Central American country. And man, Bryce, he's smart when it comes to economics, so he's been talking about this kind of stuff, like, since I started following him. Mm-hmm. Like, he's been on and talking about, I think it's going to be a huge collapse and all these types of things.
I wonder what the citizenship's like in Ukraine. The whole pension paid and shit.
Over there, bro.
I want to go do that.
That's where all your money going.
Can I go?
And you know what, bro? Like, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think that's such a big, like, slap in the face to everybody watching. If you pay taxes, if you're an American citizen, like, it just really starting to seem like they trying to get people from all angles. You know what I mean? It's like they gonna work you to death, tax you to death. Interest rates finna be high. Oh, like your dollar ain't gonna be nothing.
They said it during the debate. One of them said it. They said, no, you guys don't understand. Like, all the stuff that's being given to Ukraine, it's going to be taxable, and they're going to owe us money for that. It's like, how, Sway?
Bro,
how?
America's having to borrow money from China,
right,
to give it to Ukraine.
Right, but this was the talking point.
So we're going to get stuck with the bill and the interest.
This is the talking point from your your candidates. And they're talking about how, no, they're gonna owe us. This all gonna be taxable later on. They're gonna owe us later for all this money that they're borrowing.
Bro, if Trump,
come on, man,
check this out. If Trump had us with a historic record-breaking economy where like he was using tariffs against China, and dude, he literally told China, hey man, I'm about to put tariffs on all y'all's vehicles, and he raised I think like 28 billion, which he turned around and gave to the farmers of like Iowa and all these places. So you got these people on that debate stage. Meanwhile, there's a guy running that gave us the proof in the pudding. Like, I used to hate the dude. I thought he was just some reality TV real estate guy. And I'm just like, just because he's good at business doesn't mean it's gonna translate. Like, you need to like understand government, bro. But if he gave us a historic economy and he's running, why we just can't have him?
So the thing is, like, you get what you put into the White House, and you had a businessman coming in and doing business shit. Like, he was literally using the information and the knowledge he knew with some of the people he had around him, able to kind of like finagle the system
and
with the stuff that they had, which is like, oh, you know what we could do? I did this with this business. Let's figure this. Look, we can get taxed like this. And he thought like a fucking businessman, so he was able to get some stuff. That's what we could say about him. And, you know, like other, you know, politicians, you know, they know how to launder money. They're really good at that.
Yeah. So like for example, you mentioned how Trump was using economic tools. Like, if you're up against China, you're gonna have to use like if there, I dare use the word warfare, right? Like, if you're already at odds, you're gonna have to use economic tools like tariffs. It's not always about tanks and helicopters and jets and bombs or whatever else. Sometimes, like for example, Trump had the Remain in Mexico policy, which was like, if you enter illegally, we're not going to catch and release into our communities. Like, you're not going to be in America for 10 years waiting on your fake asylum claim court case. You're going to go wait in Mexico until it's time for your thing. So at first, Mexico was like, we don't want them either. And he's like, I'm about to put tariffs on all the vehicles coming across into America. And that would have messed up their whole game plan. So they're like, all right, we'll do Remain in Mexico with you. So it was a different type of catch and release. And like, that's just another example of knowing how to use economic tools and things like tariffs to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Like, how do we stimulate more manufacturing in America? How do we get more wages and more jobs and stuff?
Just from a common sense standpoint of just like things, it's like, guys, if we've been going in the straight and narrow path of having politicians run everything, and we keep going into trillions and trillions of dollars in debt every single fucking election, and the one time that we use somebody different and they started making some type of change, it's like, maybe we're doing this wrong. And maybe, and I'm not saying Trump's like the best, I'm just saying, could we find some other leaders that are really good in some other fields that can actually, if we put them in the presidential
like an Elon
space,
Musk or somebody.
Elon Musk, Vivek, because he's a businessman as well. He's a self-made businessman as well. There's these different viewpoints of certain things, and I know he's getting a bad rep right now because of the whole, because he's actually talking the way he would, as far as like the things he's promising are not favorable to everybody, as far as like deporting people out, full families, and I know that's a big talking point right now because that's the clickbait people are using. But I mean, it's true. Like, if we're having to stop the border crisis, move people out, wouldn't you want to move the whole family out? Like, you know what I mean? And I get how some people would find it messed up that he's not wanting to, because he's also talking about banning the birth of Americans here. Like, so like if you
birthright,
the birthright of being born here is getting rid of that and having them enter legally.
And who messed that up? All the people that bombarded and flooded, because now they're gonna have to take extreme measures, right? Now they're gonna have to go and overcompensate, and like Trump said, like the biggest deportation campaign like in history, but all these folks that are coming as of late, they're putting fake addresses, and it's all set up by design because they know that it's going to be very difficult to go and find people, because it's like
there's so many.
It's like a car wash address. 50,000 people put that same address.
Yeah,
it's all a big old game and a big old scam, because the way this administration, there's a lot of bots on Instagram because
Yeah, but basically that's the whole premise of it. Is like we might have to start thinking different and putting people different in the because politics is corrupt. You already know this. Everybody, that's like the big comments is like, yeah, but the Reds corrupt just like the blue side's corrupt. Yeah. That's why I don't even vote, dude. It's like, okay,
the two wings of the same bird, fool. And also, and it's like you think Biden's doing a good job, dude. I don't even like him. And it's like I just don't like you because you voted for Trump. It's like, all right, so we had two choices, bro. You mad at me for choosing one, and then I call out your guy, and now you're saying that's not my guy. So you didn't vote. And you mad at me?
So you just argue then?
Yeah, you just
You're trying to fight, dog.
Some of these people, bro,
you're trying to test my 4 stripes.
Yeah, some of these people are just fed a narrative to where they're like, "Oh, you're a sellout, bro, and you're a culture vulture, and this and that." It's like, okay, what specifically do we not agree on? You know what I mean? It's like, nah, fool. It's just overall, bro. Like there was a video of like kids ransacking a Target, and my comment was like, crime causes poverty, and I just got attacked like, you freaking sellout, what are you talking about? Capitalism is responsible for this and and these, and I don't care. And I had to literally tell some of these people like, look, man, I see on your profile you own a barbershop in a strip mall. So if the Hobby Lobby or the Anchor Lisi, one of the big businesses in your shopping center leaves because they keep breaking into cars or whatever, mugging people, you're gonna have less foot traffic, which means less haircuts, which means less money for you. And they're like,
for business, big dog.
Yeah, but nah, dog, it's like I was talking to a wall. Nah, homie, I don't care, and I never forget where I come from, and it's okay. And it's almost as if like,
dude, it's like Georgia. It's like when they took out the Walmart because it kept getting robbed every single day, and then Walmart's like, cool, we're not gonna have Walmarts here anymore.
Peace
and
out.
Everybody's like, why are y'all leaving?
Now we have a food desert.
Nobody stood up, and then they ended up moving it because they couldn't. They're losing profits.
Economics.
And because of that, now families don't have a place to go to a local store to get food, groceries, and things they need for their kids. Now they got to drive even farther, waste more gas, put more hardship on families that were there because you wanted to think short term and steal stuff for you now and make everybody else suffer long term.
Just because somebody convinced you that like,
enjoy Family Dollar.
They might that until they leave, right? Just because some of these folks got convinced that like, who cares? Them companies got insurance, and like these are billionaires. They don't care about us, and this is reparations because a lot of bad things happened in the past. Therefore, I should be able to run in this store right here and break stuff and steal.
Which is okay. It's a valid point. Like, yeah, screw the millionaires. But again, it goes back to the immediate problem. Now the families in that area don't have a place to shop, and some of them probably didn't have cars. So walking distance out of it now too. So now what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to go get their groceries delivered to them? How are they gonna if they can't walk there now? And now the Walmart's out of there. It's not a family center anymore. What are you gonna do with the families that can't find transportation to go get shopping for their kid? You're messing up whole families, man. Like you're really hurting the poor more than you're hurting the rich. The rich could just pull it out, reinvest it somewhere else, and they're still going to make their money.
The rich don't even shop at Walmart.
You're out of it.
Yeah.
Like, that neighborhood's out of a Walmart. You know what
I mean? And it's just unfortunate that, like, there's so many economic fallacies. Like, when I first read that, it might have been a Thomas Sowell book, but, like, when I first heard about that, like, crime causes poverty. When you start to connect the dots of, like, economics, like cause and effect, versus the victim mentality of what always, the narratives of, like, no, man, people are poor, therefore they got to do crime. And it's like, okay, I can kind of see that sometimes, but at the same time, there's a lot of cagapalos that just want to be acting a fool.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jocko Willink.
We got a video too right here.
Maybe 6 or 7 years old. They should be able to make their own lunch for school. What do you think? 6 years old? Make your own lunch?
My boy can't make it. He's sick.
What if you trained him?
Yeah, I could train him for sure.
So right now you're just letting him suffer.
Yeah, that's one way to put it for sure.
No, I mean you're making him become dependent.
Yes, that is one way to put it. Yeah. Put it this way, actually, now that I'm thinking about this consciously in this direct way for the first time, yes, I probably could begin the training process for
You
that.
should definitely
It's about
say-
now, yeah.
So let's say 6 years old, you begin the training process for you make your own lunch, you get your own clothes out, you have your book bag packed. When you're ready to go, you come tell me that it's time to go to school. Everyone else is like, hey, gotta go, hurry up, get your shoes on. We gotta go. No.
If I say, hey, you tell me when you're ready, oh, we're late. 100% probability
Okay,
we're late.
then you have to be able to deal with the consequences. Hey son, you're late. That means you're gonna get in trouble at school. That means you're not gonna be able to go to recess. That's not on me. That's on you. You're responsible. And you start to treat kids like an adult, and they'll start to take responsibility and take ownership.
All right, Jocko Willink. That sounded pretty hardcore, man. How you think?
I like it because like I've been thinking about this a lot, especially right now with my son and trying to make him self-sufficient and stuff like that. Like really going on him. He's 13, and you know me and his mom aren't together anymore, so she has him most of the time. So with that, like when I had him like recently, I realized like, oh dude, you don't use a toaster? Like you don't. I was like, my mind was blown because like at that age I was being left alone at home because, you know, I had to watch my brother and my mom, single mom. So I literally had to learn, and I learned from watching my grandmother, and I picked up on the skills because I wanted to know, okay, how do I cook? Because I like the way she cooks. Mm-hmm. And it was just out of curiosity for me. But since my son doesn't have the curiosity because he can get DoorDash or whatever, it's like, you know, he doesn't have to worry about it. So like, it's like, no. This isn't going to be you. Like, I'm going to show you like other stuff, how to actually do some stuff, microwave, eventually work you to oven and stuff like that. Because I told my son, and I prefaced it like this. This is why I resonated a lot with the Jocko's thing, is because I'm trying to explain it to my son in a way where it's like he gets it. And I've already told him, like, I want you to gamify life. Like, you think in a game terms, cool. Think of life like a game. What's your goal? What's the end game? Like, what are you trying? What's the final boss? What are your goals? And think of it like that. And I'm telling him, like, hey, when you're 18, like right now, you know, you're with your mom and you know, you have to follow her rules and stuff because you're under her roof. But I want you have 5 years of training, and this training could be anything. It could be just learning how to wash your clothes, learning how to, you know, pick up after yourself, learning how to get the little basic stuff, making your bed, doing all this other stuff. Like, these are little skills, life skills he could learn, like where it's like, okay, I'm organized now. I don't have to worry about that thing now. It's just second nature to me. When I wake up, I make my bed. When I wake up, I take a shower. I brush my teeth. I checks all the boxes, and if he does that every single day, it's just second nature to him. So then he can start moving on and just start doing the other stuff. Learning skills like, okay, right now he's a coder. Like, he's so good at coding. He's got a skill that a lot of people don't have. And people are like, AI is going to take over you. Maybe, but if he's so good at it, he can understand the AI and figure out how to use the AI to leverage a lot of things. He's going to have a major skill, and he's going to be ahead of everybody else to where he can actually tell you what the AI is doing and how he can leverage that for some kind of income. So I'm trying to teach him certain things of like, look, this is leverage, this is business, this is how you make money off of this. And I'm trying to show him this stuff, but at his pace, because he still has 5 years. And 5 years, a lot of y'all don't understand. Like, y'all have to start thinking bigger for your kids. Kids they're young. They have a whole life ahead of them. You're like maybe halfway through your life. It's like you can teach your kids like the value of time. And all you need is like, they spend 5-6 hours a day on TV and video games and stuff when they're not doing homework. You could literally tell them, hey, if you want to play a video game, take an hour a day and put it towards something else. Whether it's playing outside, whether it's like something that's going to be like, hey man, we need some kind of physical activity. Hey man, you need to do some kind of like some kind of skill. Are you learning like reading something, like reading? Like, it could be something like, read this book so that they keep up with reading and it's fun for them. Not just, I only read when I'm at school and I hate school. Yeah. It's like, no, I actually like reading. I didn't even know I liked reading. I just started reading this book. This book is so good. It could be Harry Potter, whatever. Yeah. It could be something where they're so interested that they're like, I actually like reading.
Readers are leaders.
And you as a parent have to figure out how to start teaching them and training them up and showing them those things. And I think we're lost on that because we just give them the comfort that we didn't have as kids, rather than like, no, they need a little bit of hardship. So sometimes that's you coming down on their ass and making them learn stuff, make it fun for them, but at least teach it to where it's like, oh, I get why I need to do this. Cool. And then later on, it's like they have so many tools when they're 18.
I bet I know firsthand, like when from a co-parenting type of scenario, like kind of like what you're describing. Sometimes, bro, I think it makes it even harder because with my two little ones, like Marisol is such a good, like, mom, to where, like, she be like training these little girls. Like, I was like, dang, how did she, like, for example, Sunny's 2 years old, bro. She'll take her, it's bath time, she'll take her little laundry, her dirty clothes, and she'll go walk. There's a hamper in the closet, and she knows where to put it. And it's like, she's 2. And I told myself, I was like, dang, where'd she learn that? She's like, I taught her. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm very lucky and very blessed that Marisol is like real good about, like, hey, they got this soccer camp and the thing, and at the church they're doing this vocational Bible study, like being on top of all those things. Oh, there's a deadline. Oh, I got to fill out this thing, and just being on it to make sure that we check off all those boxes of what you just said, like physical activity, sports. I mean, like this morning as Penny was going into kindergarten, I was telling her bye, and I just, like, we did like a quick little prayer, and I was just like, all right, have a good day. And I just, like, rubbed her hair, like, off her shoes. And I was like, don't let the spirit of negativity, you know what I mean? I was like, don't let the spirit of negativity. And she thought it was like a funny little game. I was like, no negativity, And then later I was thinking, I was like, next time we got to do like the spirit of distraction. Like all those little things that can derail your kid's performance and ability to like excel and really do badass. Like I want to make sure that we prepare them for all that.
Yeah, you don't think that stuff is doing anything sometimes because it just seems like it's so small. But think about the language you tell your kids. Like, and I think some parents miss out on this. I think especially in a lot of Hispanic families, think about all the pet names. It's like gordito and all that stuff. Like when they get mad at you, they make fun of you sometimes in the names. But imagine if you are a parent and you're able to, just the small little words of like, don't let negativity get you. That little bit, it may not mean anything right now because it's just like, it's just that, I was just, whatever, joking, whatever. She might be like, oh, that was so funny. It just sticks with her all of a sudden, and all of a sudden she's like,
I had a great day.
It could come out of nowhere later on in her life where she's like down or something, and she just remembers your word of like, don't let the spirit of negativity, like, you know what I mean? Like it could be something so small, but like words can actually, especially at a young kid's age, like before 8, because they're formed by 8 as far as like more or less there's a base there around 8 years old. And then from there, they can kind of develop off of it. But for the most part, their base is at 8, up till 8. So all the little things, all the little nuggets you're teaching them, all the words, all the reinforcement that you're teaching them, whether it's you're calling them a piece of shit or something like that.
Golly.
No, but I'm saying if people, just think of all the stupid shit that your parents and family used to call you. That stuff sticks with you because like y'all think it's cute right now, but really that's why a lot of negative talk is in each one of our heads most of the time. It's like we don't like ourselves because we were perceived that way. So little talks of like princess and stuff like that. That's why some of them have more self-esteem because it's like the little nuggets of that positive talk. It does help. It does affect a kid. So teaching them that stuff and then teaching them like little things of like, hey, make sure you do this and give them that little sense of responsibility. It goes a long way. And we don't think about it because of the distractions of our lifestyle and like I'm a single mom or I'm a single dad or whatever it is, and we're just like moving with the world. But y'all gotta take some of those little bits of time of like just like giving your kids, even if it's 30 minutes, like, sweetie, I don't have a lot of time, but I'm here right now, so why don't we just have a talk? Put your phone away and just talk with them. That goes a long way for a kid to really understand like that's all the attention they need really is something, and not just ignoring them or being on your phone and talking to them at the same time or some of that distraction, literally getting eyeball level with them. That stuff can really help develop somebody. And
that's going to be the future of our country, man. And so let's definitely keep that discussion going. We're excited about some major announcements coming about the Chingo verse. Y'all stay tuned for that for sure. A whole lot of big things coming. But in the meantime, let's keep this discussion going. Love to hear the feedback. If you're coming to one of the shows coming up in San Antonio, October 10th through the 12th, or is it 12th through the 15th?
12th through the 15th.
12th through the 15th. If you're coming,
That's Thursday through Sunday, y'all. 6 shows.
for sure. So if you tune into any of these things, let us know. Like if you, whatever content you like, let us know. Like, man, I just like how Chingo, you know, this behind the scenes stuff with the family, or I like this stuff or this character. Just let us know. We appreciate it. In the meantime, man, we're gonna have to pray for our country and make sure that our youth is good, our farmland is good, and our leaders are good, and we're gonna be all right. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Share the show with everybody, guys.
For sure. Wow.